911 call. Carson Gordy, back to you.
They better get on it. They better. It takes time. Doesn't matter how long it takes. It doesn't matter.
Right. Thanks for that update, Carson. We have received documents from Sangamon County that cover the investigation.
This is it, guys, but don't worry about it. I have the documents also. I do have the full documents. I had some of it, but someone gave me like all of it. So shout out to Des for that. I'm going to show her version of it instead of my version because it shows a couple more pages than what I have, but I probably won't even use it to show you guys. I just need his statement, and we're going to read that.
Coming up tonight on News Channel 20 at 10, you can learn more about the investigation into Grayson and the second deputy. Well, area bikers are planning a ride in honor of Sonya Massey this weekend. Bikers will meet up at 1704 East Cook Street in Springfield around 2 p.m. before heading out a half hour later. The ride is set to go past the new memorial to Sonya in the capital city. For more information on the ride, head over to newschannel20.com. Sean Grayson is facing 3 counts of first-degree murder for the death of Sonya Massey. He's also facing charges of aggravated battery with a firearm and official misconduct. He pleaded not guilty to all charges. A judge denied him pre-trial release. He is set to be back in court later this month. Today marks nearly 4 weeks since Sonya Massey was shot and killed in her Sangamon County home. 2 deputies responded to Massey's home on Hoover Avenue just after 1 a.m. on July 6th. After they entered her home, the situation escalated to then Deputy Sean Grayson firing at Massey and killing her. Grayson has since been charged and fired, but both deputies were placed on administrative leave during the investigation. But we have learned today that the second deputy who witnessed the shooting has returned to work.
Okay, you see, now this is the problem. The second deputy has returned to work, ladies and gentlemen. The second deputy returned to work. This is the problem. Okay. The man still, he conspired. He still enforced fear to Sonya. She didn't see one weapon in her face. She saw 2. He followed the path of Sean Grayson. This is the problem, man, with this, with law enforcement. Okay, we're just going to have to sacrifice one of our officers, but the second one, he still do bad. But they just put all the focus on the first guy who committed the crime, so we're not going to discipline both of them. Stop it. You're trying not to discipline the second officer because that's going to make your department look bad. That is what you are doing. That is what you are doing. Because the more officers you discipline, it'll look bad in your department, your record. It'll look bad publicly. He still did bad. I don't care how he reacted. I don't care if he didn't pull the trigger. He still, again, I must repeat, he still drawn his weapon. That created her fear. She has mental illness. She defended herself. Let's not move on from this. We're going to get in Sean Grayson's ass, and I'm going to get on this man as well. It is not right. He should have never listened to Sean Grayson when it came to that med kit. Apply aid. Stop listening to your officers, and you know they didn't have they committed a crime. You, second officer, for all we know, we don't know, yes or no, you could have saved her life. Or maybe you couldn't. If you just would have never listened to Sean Grayson and applied aid, you could have saved her life. There's a risk, of course, getting pew-pewed in the face. But you should have never followed through with Sean Grayson's orders. He is not your commander-in-chief. He is not your sheriff, your chief, whatever. You guys are both partners, period.
deputy Sean Grayson firing at Massey and killing her. Grayson has since been charged and fired, but both deputies were placed on administrative leave during the investigation. But we have learned today that the second deputy who witnessed the shooting has returned to work.
Witness the shooting. Witness the shooting. Good choice of words. Because they know. They know.
News Channel 20's Carson Gordy joins us live in Sangamon County with the latest. Carson.
Sangamon County Communication Director Jeff Wilhite confirmed that the unnamed deputy is no longer on paid administrative leave. The deputy has returned to the office, but he's not yet returned to going back out on patrol. However, the deputy is still under internal investigation by the Sangamon County Sheriff's Department for what happened at Sonya Massey's home. This is not a criminal investigation. Body camera footage shows that the deputy never fired a shot and provided medical aid for Massey.
No, wait a minute. No, stop that. Stop that. Let's look at things for what it is. Please. We must look at things for what it is. Let's not sugarcoat them. What did he do? The second deputy. Let's not tell lies here. Again, I want to give a big shout out to Cole for the $1.99 super chat. She said, let's get involved and like and share. Please do that for me, guys, on Facebook and YouTube. Facebook, we only have 26 shares. If you can hit that share button for me, that means a lot. YouTube, you already know what to do. Hit that like button for me. I would appreciate that. Second deputy at Massey's home returns to work, right? Now listen to what he said.
The deputy is still under internal investigation by the Sangamon County Sheriff's Department for what happened at Sonya Massey's home.
That's good.
This is not a criminal investigation.
Why? Why not?
Body camera footage shows that the deputy never fired a shot and provided medical aid for Massey.
He did, but he neglected. He should have never done that. He should have never drawn his weapon. For what? Now, Brown Sugar actually, thank God I catch this because normally I don't catch the Discord messages while I'm live, depending on the importance of it. But she sent something that was very, very good. Brown Sugar, very good. Failure to intervene. An officer who purposefully allows a fellow officer to violate a victim's constitutional rights may be prosecuted for failure to intervene to stop the constitutional violation. Now, I'm gonna touch back on that first sentence. All right. To prosecute such an officer, the government must show that the defendant officer was aware of the constitutional violation, had an opportunity to intervene, and chose not to do so. This charge is often appropriate for supervisory officers who observe uses of excess force without stopping them, or who actively encourage uses of excessive force but do not directly participate in them. Brown Sugar, well done, mama. Well done, because this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. You don't have to be directly the cause, but you were there witnessing it. You could have prevented it. You are an officer. An officer can check an officer, so check him. Why should you just get off the hook? For what? Because you didn't pull the trigger? Stop it. Get some help. Please. We must take accountability in all shapes of life. And in this case, you're an officer. You witness your partner using excess force. You should be liable. I'm going to come back to that. I will come back to that. Michelle Fleming with the 99. Thank you so much, Michelle. How are you doing? Let me get some Debbies for Michelle with a 999. Thank you so much.
Sheriff Jack Campbell says he has not read his office's interview with the deputy after the shooting and has viewed the body cam footage once.
He did nothing wrong here. So egregious that he should not be a police officer anymore.
What do you mean he did nothing wrong? Are we not looking at the same video? Are we not looking at the same video? He drawed his weapon. He said, put the water down. I hope you guys caught that. He actually said the water too. That was an excess use of force for what? Just because he did not pull the trigger, that doesn't mean he should not be held accountable for his actions. Stop it, because if he was the man in front, he could have done the same thing. He was the man behind him. He couldn't pull pew, Sonya. He was directly behind him. Did you not watch the video? I will show you. He couldn't pull the trigger. Sean Grayson was in his way. Stop playing with it. Crystal, thank you so much for being a member for 6 months. Congratulations for the 6 months. They both delayed aid. Exactly, Crystal.
But we need to work with him. We need to make sure that mentally, that it's safe for him to work.
You know what? I feel like everyone is a pick-me girl, attention seeker. The family is saying, hey, what about us? Sean Grayson's fiance's family. And now I hear he's mentally okay, safe for work. It took you what? 2 or 3 weeks to say he's okay to work? He was on leave? You put more time into thinking that making sure this officer was okay. But number one, did you reach out to the family? Number two, did you not look at the same video to see, is his actions okay? It was not. That is I'm getting angry.
The Illinois State Police told me they finished their investigation into the deputy's actions on July 6th and has sent over the case to the Sangamon County State's Attorney's Office. When I reached out to the county, I asked if the state's attorney, John Milheiser, plans to file criminal charges. I was told at this time, no comment. I'm Carson Gordy. Back to you.
Wait, I'm sorry, what?
Attorney's Office. When I reached out to the county, I asked if the state's attorney, John Milheiser, plans to file criminal charges. I was told at this time, no comment. I'm Carson Gordy. Back to you.
Thanks, Carson. We did receive documents from Sangamon County that cover the investigation. We're going to take a deeper dive into that investigation into Sean Grayson and the second deputy. That's coming up tonight on News Channel 20 at 10.
And right now, the former deputy who shot and killed Sonya Massey is still awaiting his preliminary hearing. Sean Grayson was ordered to remain in custody after being charged with 3 counts of murder, aggravated battery with a firearm, and official misconduct. He has pleaded not guilty to all charges. And you can find more coverage on Sonya Massey's death over on our website, newschannel20.com. We'll also have the latest update on air and on our social media pages.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Today marks nearly 4 weeks since Sonya Massey was shot and killed in her Sangamon County home. 2 deputies responded to Massey's home on Hoover Avenue just after 1 a.m. on July 6th. After they entered her home, the situation escalated to then Deputy Sean Grayson firing at Massey, killing her. Grayson has since been charged and fired, but both deputies were placed on administrative leave during the investigation. Well, we've obtained Sean Grayson's disciplinary file from Sangamon County, and it reports on the Sheriff's Department's internal investigation days after Sonya Massey's death. News Channel 20's Carson Gordy joins us in studio after digging through the documents. Carson?
After the fatal shooting of Sonya Massey, Sangamon County Sheriff's Office reviewed the body cam footage, the individual reports, and the interviews of both Sean Grayson and the unnamed deputy to decide whether they would be fired. According to Sangamon County documents, the Sheriff's Office determined that Sean Grayson violated 6 department policies after fatally shooting Sonya Massey.
I swear to God, I'll shoot you right in your face.
Use of force, standard of conduct, portable audio video recorder, medical aid. Wait, okay. Oh my gosh. I need you guys to screen record this right now. Because I just found, I don't know if it's a loophole per se. I just found something that they can actually prosecute the second officer if we apply pressure. Read the top real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, I need you to read the top. Policies Sean Grayson violated. Okay, you ready? Are you ready? Number 1, use of force. Number 2, standard of conduct. Skip the third one. Number 4, medical aid and response. That's all the same exact thing that the second officer did. How can you charge Sean Grayson with failure of medical aid, use of force, but with this second deputy, didn't he do the same thing? But he's clear? I say something's wrong with that, no? Is something wrong here? Just because Sean Grayson pulled the trigger, is he the only one that's supposed to be liable here? You want to go ahead and pull these policies that he violated, but didn't the second officer violated these policies as well, except for the recorder, an audio policy? Sean Grayson told you, don't do it. It's a headshot. It's a head kill. Why did you listen? You think that should never hold up in court? You are your own person. You must uphold the law as an individual entity who works for a larger entity. Just because Sean Grayson violated these policies as you did also, you think you wouldn't be held accountable? Because if I can see this upon my screen and you did the same thing, what makes you any different? Mind you, there's something underneath this one. There's a fifth one. I can't see it. But let's see if he violated Sonya Massey's rights as well.
Force for using his gun.
Oh, come on.
Standard of conduct for his language before and after the shooting, and not providing medical aid. And insubordination for refusing to answer any question during his internal affairs review.
He didn't answer any questions during, look at this. Deputy Sean Grayson deliberately refused to answer questions during the internal investigation interview, even after ordered to do so by Lieutenant Wes Wooden. He wouldn't answer. Oh my God. What are we doing? What are we doing here? What are we oh my God. Oh my God. So not only he refused to cooperate, but the second deputy, oh my God. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Oh my gosh, man, you're just so, oh my gosh.
Even after being ordered by Lieutenant Wes Wooden, the other deputy, whose name has not been released, is still under internal investigation by the sheriff's office for policy violation.
I said it. Yes, that's right. So you better charge him too. You better charge him too. If he violated policy, you committed a crime.
It's not involving criminal repercussions.
But why not? Why not? Why not?
He did nothing wrong here. So
how? He violated policy, but he did nothing wrong? Is that not a contradiction in terms?
Egregious that he should not be a police officer anymore. But we need to work with him. We need to make sure that mentally, that it's safe for him to work.
The unnamed deputy was interviewed by the sheriffs in July. When asked if he felt threatened by Massey's hot pot of water, he stated in part, not necessarily. Once you started walking that way, I walked the other direction. In the video, the deputy is seen drawing his firearm after Grayson drew his, but the deputy did not fire any shots and provided medical assistance to Massey.
How's he doing?
Not very well. He's devastated.
Oh, stop that. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Who are you fooling? Stop it. Stop. Oh, come on. Don't do this. Come on.
He's devastated.
Come on.
As our office is. And, he was in shock, and, he's now in disbelief.
Sangamon County confirmed that the unnamed deputy is no longer on paid administrative leave. He's back in the office, but he's not back to patrol duty. I'm Carson Gordy. Back to you.
You can't, because he violated policy. You're trying so hard not to show that. You're trying. You're trying, and you know he did wrong, but you are not trying to look bad. You don't want your department to look bad. That's why. And that's the problem. It's accountability we must take.
All right, thanks, Carson. Sangamon County State's Attorney John Milhiser said no comment when asked whether he's looking at criminal charges for the deputy. Thanks for watching. Stick around by subscribing today.
Unbelievable. As I'm talking about, we don't have this type of accountability anywhere. If we do that, there would be more transparency. Everything is linked together. These things are linked together. You know what I'm saying? We must come on. If they let the second deputy just off the hook, like perfectly fine, no. I'm pushing for being fired, and at least being fired. Him pointing down that weapon, you know? Mom of three says, simmer down, man. How do you know what he violated? So, mom of three, I have eyes, right? Like in my skull. And when light refracts off of physical things and hits my eyeball, I can see things. That's how it works, you know? And when I see things with my eyeballs and I'm educated, I mix those two together and I can see that he violated policies. You know, you have eyeballs too. If they work, you can see that if you watch the video, he violated policy, as well as the chief just said it. If you have ears, you listened. He just violated policy. And you're telling me, mom of three, that's your name, that I need to calm down because he's not, or something? Mom of three, you would be lying as well. All right, how about we let's continue. Michelle Fleming with the 199 super chat. They all will be prosecuted for her death. They should, Michelle. That's a very good super chat. I love this. They should.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Stacey Skryzak.
And I'm Dawn Sterling. We're continuing our coverage into the shooting death of Sonya Massey tonight.
Sonya was shot by a Sangamon County Sheriff's deputy on July 6th. She had called deputies to her house over concerns of a prowler. Body camera footage shows Deputy Sean Grayson shooting Sonya after an argument over a pot of boiling water. Now, Sean Grayson's thoughts behind shooting Sonya Massey have been revealed for the first time after Sangamon County released the deputy's personal police report that he wrote after the shooting.
News Channel.
We're going to listen to this police report. I want to take attention. Nikki, I almost missed your comment because usually you're highlighted like you're a member. And thank God I saw this comment. I would have missed it 100%. By the way, shout out to my members in the chat on YouTube and Facebook. If you have that heart Facebook badge, thank you for being a member. I love you guys. If you have that crown because you are a king and queen, thank you for your support. I want to give you guys W's in the chat for that. Nikki, in her comment, said, I had to report misconduct for another officer when I was working in law enforcement. I then was relentlessly bullied and called the snitch. You see that? Do you see that? Someone in my chat was in law enforcement, and she said she basically reported another officer for misconduct. And after that, she was called a snitch by her own peers, her own partners. People in her department were bullying her. An officer bullying an officer. You know, hearing that and reporting all this stuff on just regular true crime stuff, but also crime from officers and deputies, I shifted my perspective on officers. I don't look at them with their badge or any of that. I look at them as another person walking down the street. I just had a law enforcement officer in my chat that just said that. How are you other deputies that's bullying her in my chat any different from bullies that are bullying kids in school right now? How are you any different? How are you any different? Because you don't think cops should be snitching on cops, but you want gang members and regular civilians to be snitching on regular, ordinary civilians? You want an informant? You want that snitch that's going to help you get that promotion of an officer? Ha, I busted them. But then yet when an officer snitches on you, no, you're supposed to be on my side. You guys are a gang. You're a gang. You're not above the law. You need to be all held accountable if you have done wrong. Turn in your badge, turn in that gun. You don't deserve it, period. I think there should be a formal investigation in all deputies across the United States. They should earn degrees to get a weapon. I think that officers should go through a year worth of training to get a gun. You should go through so many, you have to go through strenuous training to obtain a weapon. So, don't let me say background checks, because this guy, look at his background. Look at his background, ladies and gentlemen, and he still was able.
School is back, and Dick's Sporting Goods has what you need to win your year. We've got everything from cleats to Sambas, dunks, and more. Plus, the hottest styles from Nike, Jordan, and Adidas. Find your first day fits in-store or online at Dicks.com.
How? Ridiculous.
Channel 20's Carson Gordy joins us live in the studio now after reading that report. Carson, what does it say?
This is one of the first times that we are hearing about what happened that night on Hoover Avenue from then Deputy Sean Grayson. In his police report, Grayson writes that he believed that Massey was going to kill him with a hot pot of water.
Sean Grayson, did you just say... Sean, did you just say that you... Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that?
Hearing about what happened that night on Hoover Avenue from then Deputy Sean Grayson. In his police report, Grayson writes that he believed that Massey was going to kill him with a hot pot of water.
Does this look like someone? Does this look like someone who came running to Sean Grayson with a pot saying, "Oh, I'm gonna kill"? No. I feel like sometimes, like when I'm streaming and when I hear stuff like this, or I see that one bad comment in the chat saying, "No, you're wrong. You didn't watch the video." Are we on the same planet? I feel like I know there's a couple people in the chat that's on Sean Grayson's side or the partner side of three. You know, I don't know how you function in your day or your everyday life. I feel like something is wrong with you, because we both saw the video. Sean Grayson, you turned on your body cam after it happened. You have had to see the body cam footage because they would have to put you in a room and show you and tell you what you did wrong. And yet in your mind, right? Like in your brain, you saw that and you said, that was okay. Sean Grayson, I did right by that.